Welcome to the Weather Ready YouTube channel, where we try to keep you one step ahead of the storms. If you like weather content, please subscribe to our channel, and also, if you like it, click the like button and share with your family and friends. Today's video is going to be dedicated to the major winter storm that's going to impact New England the 1st of December. What I have displayed here is the Watch Warning Advisory map from the National Weather Service, and you can access this data at weather.gov. And what we have is what the Weather Channel calls Winter Storm Ezekiel. We have winter storm warnings and blizzard warnings, some blizzard warnings in northern Nebraska and southwest South Dakota. And also we have new winter storm watches, winter weather advisory, and ice storm warnings for parts of the Northeast, Pennsylvania. And we'll talk more about this storm hitting the New England states and Pennsylvania on this video. First, let's look at the satellite loop. We can see our big storm. Notice the counterclockwise rotation, and we get moisture wrapping around to the north of the upper low, bringing snow to the Dakotas and Minnesota. And also there's a frontal system here, and it's going to spread precip into the cold air in New England, where it'll overrun the cold air at the surface and cause some ice in Pennsylvania and a mixture in snow in New England late tonight and tomorrow morning. This is the upper air pattern. Think of the steering flow at 18,000 feet. And what I'm showing you is you can see a closed low at 500 millibars, 18,000 feet, where that center of circulation is. And usually you can track these, and areas to the north in the wintertime tend to provide snow. So we have an upper low. The latest surface analysis shows a deep surface low in northeast Nebraska with a cold front and a stationary front to the south, precip breaking out to the north. And there's a cold high pressure in place. Surface temperatures in the 30s up in Pennsylvania and parts of northern Maryland. But notice the dew points. This is an indication of how dry the air mass is in the 20s, Pennsylvania, and the dew points are in the teens up in New England in single digits. So with air temperatures in the 30s, teens, and 20s, any precip that comes into this air mass will transition into freezing rain, and then farther north into the deeper cold air, it'll be mostly in the form of snow, and we'll look at that with the weather maps. Here's the North American model, the NAM 12-kilometer model, and I wanted to show the closed off 500 low, and this is vorticity. We step this through time, and notice the low moves easterly towards Maryland, northern Maryland, and this is at Monday morning, and then it goes offshore and sits and spins and deepens just off of the New England coast. And this will be the big weather maker. So the places just to the north of that track of that upper low have a greater chance of, once the cold air filters back in, it'll change over to snow. And what I have here is the NAM 12-kilometer surface pressure, precip type by the model, and 1,000 to 500 millibar thicknesses, or kind of detects how cold the air mass is. So we got precip breaking out tonight. As the precip moves through, this is at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, with a mixture of ice, freezing rain, and sleet spreading across central Pennsylvania, and it picks up. And then this is at 1 p.m. on Sunday. We still have lingering freezing rain and sleet, mostly freezing rain, in most of central Pennsylvania, and a band of snow moving into northeast Pennsylvania, and mostly snow in parts of southern New York and southern New England. As we step this through time, you get a surface low developing offshore late Sunday, where the coldest air is entrenched and deepest, mainly northern New England. You'll get longer periods of snow, but as the coastal low deepens off the shore, we get a cold conveyor belt of precip around that upper low, and all the mixed precip changes over to snow, and it wraps around even into northern Maryland. But the heaviest snow is in eastern New York and western Massachusetts, but even that changes over to snow. Now we're out to Monday morning at 7 a.m. and a 983 surface low just off the Cape of Massachusetts, and heavy snow even down into New York and most of southern New England. And the snow continues on the day Tuesday and then starts tapering off Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So this will be a prolonged winter storm with snow starting off as snow and freezing rain, changing back to snow for New England, especially Monday night and Tuesday. Here is the National Weather Service forecast for freezing rain, and most of central and eastern Pennsylvania, the forecast is for, say, a tenth to almost a quarter of an inch, especially along the Allegheny Mountains and just east of the mountains where the cold air tends to linger longer. And let's look at some of the model forecasts. Here is the NAM's total snow forecast, valid through early Wednesday morning at 1 a.m. And notice it's showing a lot of snow. Some places over 30 inches of snow in Massachusetts and southern New Hampshire, and over 2 feet of snow in New York. Now that might be overdone, but we can compare what the European is showing. And the European is showing, up to 2 feet in some of the high spots, and it has Boston around 10 inches. And even some accumulating snow for New York. And then let's look at the Canadian model, and it's got over 2 feet in those favorite locations, with Boston around 10 inches and New York 3 to 6. And lastly, the GFS model is showing a little bit less overall accumulation, but the same theme of heavy snow for New England early next week. Also, we have a probabilistic winter precipitation guidance from the National Weather Service. And what I highlighted is what is the probability of greater than 8 inches of snow in a 72-hour period ending Tuesday at 7 p.m. Some of these brownish colors are 80 to 90% probability. So a great probability getting at least 8 inches of snow in much of northeast Pennsylvania through most of New England. And I wanted to use the NAM and go closer to New England to show you the changeover. As we can see, this is valid Sunday afternoon with the surface low off of Delaware, and the precip coming in starts out as snow, but that along the coast it changes over to a mix of sleet and freezing rain. And as the low deepens off the Jersey coast, the precip, it brings in colder air and the precip changes back into snow. And with that closed low at 500, if you're north of that closed low track, you get a cold conveyor belt or a deformation zone with a lot of heavy snow to the north. And this is out to Monday afternoon, and we see a band of moderate to heavy snow breaking out. And then we take it out to Tuesday morning, and very heavy snow from New York to Boston and much of southern New England, and the 983 low, and it just continues to snow through the day on Tuesday and then lifts out Tuesday night. So the official forecast from the National Weather Service for this area is basically anywhere from 1 to 2 feet, especially in eastern, southeast, eastern New York, and most of Massachusetts, southern Vermont, and southern New Hampshire. So this will be a big item, one of those potentially to be one of those Nisus storms I mentioned in the video before. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video content, and we'll continue to provide new videos as ahead of the winter storms coming months. Thank you for listening.